So a lot of you have probably heard about blood doping. Maybe you know a bit about it, maybe you don't. This video is going to be a little intro to it. So blood doping is essentially just increasing the functionality or the amount of blood in your system. So therefore you can increase your oxygen carrying capacity to your muscles and you can work harder for longer. It's best for endurance sports like, I don't know, marathon running or Ironman, triathlon or cycling. Okay, so increasing the amount of blood and its functionality. First one is EPO, erythropoietin, a hormone produced by the kidneys. It has lots of different systematic effects on different parts of the body, but this one we're going to look at its production of red blood cells via bone marrow. In a low oxygen environment or a hypoxic environment, the kidney senses this and it creates more EPO, the hormone, or you can take it exogenously like some athletes do, which then stimulates the bone marrow to create more red blood cells, and thus you have a higher oxygen carrying capacity. Another way to do this is by taking HIF, or hypoxia inducible factor, which pretty much does the same thing. It increases EPO production by the kidneys and therefore increases red blood cell production. A third way is the old blood transfusion, where you take out your own blood and then re-inject it into yourself later, right before the race. Maybe you've just done an altitude training camp and you've got lots of red blood cells in your blood. It's very thick, high hematocrit, which is just the amount of red blood cells in your blood, and then you put it in before a race. So here we go. You can see the athlete takes out their blood, they spin around in the centrifuge. The heavy part of the blood, the RBCs, the red blood cells, go to the bottom of the tube. You separate out the plasma. You store the red blood cells. They can be frozen if they're going to be stored for a long time. And then a couple of days before the competition, you re-inject it. You've got more blood. You've got more oxygen carrying capacity. The muscles can work harder for longer. They're getting more nutrients and more oxygen. So these are ways that have just looked at increasing blood volume or hemoglobin sort of concentration to increase aerobic capacity, disregarding other factors like cardiac output and muscular oxygen extraction. And blood transfusions themselves do have a lot of risks: infections, pathogens, bacteria, your own body arcing up with its white blood cells and attacking itself. So look, but people don't give a shit when it comes to competition. They'll make dollars and take risks. So HBOCS are another way to blood dope. They're a synthetic molecule and they bind with a high affinity than hemoglobin to oxygen molecules. So they carry around oxygen really well in your blood. And another type are perfluorocarbons. They pretty much do the same thing. They're synthetic molecules that carry oxygen really well in your blood and deliver it to the muscles. Maybe you haven't heard about them. I didn't hear about them before I made this video, so just informing the public. So achieving your maximum aerobic capacity, I recommend not blood doping. Go vegan.